They didn't want that to be a media frenzy. Instead, we wanted to focus on the summit itself with the North Korean leader and the U.S. president arriving and making that handshake. But apparently it seems like we have not gotten that opportunity just yet, seeing their meet and greet in front of the cameras. But instead what we're seeing on the video is the both leaders arriving at the summit location moments ago. And as you said, with stern faces, both of them.
Stern, but still ready to, they just look like a couple of world leaders going to any regular summit in a way. Like, I think, like Dr. Kim mentioned, most of the groundwork is done, most of the details have been arranged. This is just a fact. They're going to meet each other and see how they get on. Hee-Jun, turning to you regarding the personal relationship Kim Jong-un and President Trump might be able to form within the short time they meet each other. Do you think, considering, you know, they are different styles of people, it's fair to say, do you think there will be, because generally speaking, on a personal level, President Trump does very
firing those away.
But what a symbolic image that is there.
It is.
I mean, it's hard to describe really. That who would have thought that we'd ever see something like that. So,
and then those two leaders, a stark contrast. Hee-Jun, I mean, we've been learning about these two leaders over the past couple of weeks as we were preparing for today's summit, but their age is different, the way they speak is different, their style of leading their country is extremely different. What do you make of that?
Like you said, they have so many big differences. First of all, their age. President Donald Trump is 71, whereas Kim Jong-un is only in his mid-30s, presumably. And his personality, Trump is known to be very bossy. He likes to have the upper hand in everything. And even through Twitter diplomacy, like the so-called Twitter diplomacy, he tweets everything directly. He doesn't go through his aides when he wants to speak out. But on the other hand, Kim Jong-un, he's known to be very careful and quiet. He acts really carefully when it comes to diplomatics and politics. And like we've seen through the rapid developments on the Korean Peninsula, Kim hasn't been tweeting or he hasn't been saying anything on broadcast live like Trump did, but rather he's been very careful. He's been speaking through his close aides like Kim Gae-kwan and the other closest aides in North Korea. So I think it'll be very interesting to see how they get along in today's summit and how the results, everything will unfold in today's big event.
And as Mark has brought up, Donald Trump apparently had been tweeting on his way to the summit location. And just looking back some of the things that he's been tweeting, there weren't all about the summit today with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, but earlier, before he was even getting ready for the summit, a couple hours ago, U.S. President Donald Trump tweeted his optimism and his confidence towards today's summit. I don't know if he can pull that up now, but this is the tweet that he wrote out today.
yes, he said meetings between staffs and representatives are going well and quickly, but in the end, that doesn't matter. I'm quoting President Trump here. We will all know soon whether or not a real deal, unlike those of the past, can happen, end quote. That was President Trump 4 hours ago tweeting that.
And those tweets could also be seen as a message to North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, who's on the other hand watching all these, perhaps monitoring.
Let's just talk a little bit more about those comments then. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that President Trump was going to be speaking, so I kind of spoke over the top of him shortly.
I mean, we'll be able to play back his comments afterwards again, and that the scene that we were seeing with a lot of the delegates and both leaders sitting in one table was the expanded meeting that followed shortly after the one-on-ones between the two leaders, which lasted for about 40 minutes or so. We saw a lot of faces, familiar faces on the table sitting besides the leaders, the U.S. delegates for the expanded meeting, including his Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to his left for U.S. President Donald Trump, and also John Kelly, and the Chief of Staff for the White House. And I'm not seeing John Bolton there yet, but we were told that John Bolton, the hardliner, would also have made to that